Hello and welcome to the 79th edition of Random or Nintendo. I am your host for today's episode. I am Jason, and surrounding me are both our regular co-hosts and a new person new to this version of the show. You may recognize him from past shows. So on my virtual left, we have Angel.
Sunday night? I'm still on that. I'm confused.
What?
You said on the Sunday night version of the podcast?
No, I did not say that. I said... What?
Wait,
I didn't say something. I said some other version or something like that. I don't even remember what I did not say.
Like, as in the
79th edition of Random or Nintendo.
79. Yeah, that sounded like Sunday night, and I was like, is this like a riff on the fact that it's football?
I just know how much you love football, Angel, and you're such a sports guy, and it was a big Sunday night yesterday with the Super Bowl, so I understand you, Mr. Sports, are stuck on Sunday. It's okay. But yeah, on my virtual right, we have Kevin.
Yeah, that's me.
And then here comes the new person, sort of. We have on the virtual, somewhere between left and right, longtime friend of the show, frequently name-dropped person on the show, Elvis.
Longtime friend is wild. Best friend.
In a good or bad way? Was that like too soft of an intro or too much of an intro?
Also, a long time. I mean, no, new. It's not one of those things where like I'm on the show once, I'm forever a member. So technically,
you're
new
the
newest
to. Oh, you wish. You wish you had that legacy. You're new to Random or Nintendo, but you were on Random Nintendo.
True. If anything, Random Nintendo.
Like, and if you recall, like, and I guess for anyone that may not know, I guess for a good while, how many years, I don't know, like, it was like strictly Nintendo, very, very strictly every 2 weeks. Like, if Miyamoto bought, like,
I was a stickler.
If Miyamoto decided to change, like, which coffee house he wanted to get his donuts in, like, that we would have to report on that.
You guys would
not just report on it, but we would analyze how that change would impact future Wii U sales.
He's getting more fiber. That means he's gonna, I don't know, something. But yeah,
that means he's not gonna be in his garden as much because he doesn't need to grow his vegetables, which means we're not gonna get a new Pikmin game anytime soon, guys. But he may give us a new Nintendo dogs because the new coffee shop is further, so he's walking his dog more. That's the analysis we would do. Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, now we'll just get to talk about whatever we want. Jason will still talk about Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. I keep us anchored in Nintendo a little because our name is still Random or Nintendo. But yeah, Elvis was on the show for... Nintendo. Yeah, basically. I mean, technically, it's Random or Nintendo by Random. Like, the entity that we are is still Random Nintendo. Our web address is still randomnintendo.com.
Yeah.
But the show is Random or Nintendo.
Random Nintendo.
The parent company is Random Nintendo. It's a Random Nintendo production. If someone goes to look in the ID3 tag of the MP3 for these episodes, it is the episode name, the artist is Random Nintendo, and the album is Random or Nintendo. Because that's the current show of the artist that is Random Nintendo.
Makes sense.
So, but yeah, for those who aren't, right, and for those who weren't with us 14 years ago, Elvis,
wait, I thought it was
you were
13. So is this, or is it because
we started in 2011 as 2026, so we're 14 going on 15.
I feel like every time I ask you, it's almost
like
I thought it was 11 years ago, like a couple months ago.
No, it's because it does get long. So it does real quick. It does get longer as time goes on. Because that's how that works. but no,
I'm with you so
I misspoke before we started recording.
I wanted to make
13. It's actually 14. What?
No, if I heard Angel correctly, that's what I was thinking in my mind. But then I got sidetracked that it came out of his mouth.
Yeah, I know. I said some phrasing that probably wasn't very Apple non-explicit appropriate. But yeah, Elvis used to be on back in the double-digit days of the episodes of Random Nintendo. You, for a minute there, were in all the episodes briefly.
I think I was,
and then
like
you kind of disappeared.
5 or 4.
Yeah, I mean that's technically more than a minute. That was like 6 hours. Yeah, that's like 8 to 10 hours of content. But also, you did come back for
a Metal Gear game. I don't remember which one. But
he did Snake Eater 3D. Snake Eater 3D.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, though, it would have been the only Nintendo one.
It's the only Nintendo.
Exactly. That's how I knew it.
Wait,
I mean, he wasn't talking about Twin Snakes.
Didn't we get like the obviously besides Twin
on
Snakes
3DS it was the only.
We didn't get like that collection that wasn't a Switch, like the 1, 2.
Not
3, 4.
at a time when Elvis would have been on the show.
That was
because the
more
Switch didn't
recent than
exist.
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no,
And
yeah.
then
I was just on,
Elvis-
like, if you have any figure.
And credit to, just to build out Elvis's Ram Nintendo lore here, credit to him as well. He was on the 10th anniversary show we did for Ram Nintendo back in November of 2021, along with other guests, friends of the show, like our friend Nigel, who we've name dropped before. So Elvis has history. Elvis, you have history.
The Comic-Con ones? Yeah.
He's been on some of the Comic-Con ones, yeah, because we were all down there together.
And
so
some
there's
of the
history
Vidbit.
here.
The trenches.
That's true. The Donkey Kong Returns vidbit. If you go to the Random Nintendo YouTube channel and dig around some old videos, there's a playthrough video of the two brothers, you guys, playing as the two Kongs. So Elvis is not. He may be new to some listeners, but he's not new to us or to the long-time fans.
We did a vidbit on Donkey Kong?
You guys did.
Oh.
Really?
I don't know if you ever posted it, but you had me make the image for it. And stuff. Like I made it. I remember making it.
I'm literally like looking this up. Like, where'd you say it was? The Random Nintendo extras?
Yeah.
Like, we're just like a really bad
I didn't say that, but you're correct. I'm so glad you're so familiar with our website.
Oh, it was
Tell me exactly
Freeze.
how to navigate.
Here's Tropical Freeze. Yeah, so if you go to ramtail.com and
I
then you
literally,
hit the little
just
hamburger
typed
icon.
Random Nintendo on Google, and it was the first image link.
Yeah, so it's gonna be the Ram Nintendo Extra, which is our section we did for not podcast stuff. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the first page of that section, it's Vidbit Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Wait, did you
With
write
the
this? When it comes to later levels
I-
of the Donkey
I'm
Kong Country
sure I
Tropical
did.
Freeze, there's no time to monkey around.
I did
Nearly a
write
year
that.
After the Wii U
I mean, come on,
version,
who
attempt to
wrote that?
conquer its
Who do
final-
you think wrote that? Just based on the
Oh.
wording. Yeah.
This is a final level. Wait, why is the video missing?
I don't know. I have
There's
no
literally
idea.
no video. There's like no link, no like
It's-
no URL not found.
Ha! You got punked. Ha! I have no idea. I'll try and fix
Wait.
it later.
I wanna
Yeah,
click on the
Angel.
YouTube channel.
Angel. I know you're sending me the link as if I'm not already there.
2015. Damn, 11 years ago. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know where the video is, but I will figure that out after we record. In the interim, how are you guys doing? What's new?
I already forgot.
Did you guys were doing the podcast when we saw the barrels in the LA Zoo and Donkey Kong promotion?
Yes, we did, and we did an extra about it as well.
Okay. I thought
Or no, we did not do an extra, but we put images of it on the episode blog post because the images were very low res and kind of crappy, frankly. So, I did not take
Did you
good
take them?
pictures, so I just shoved them. Yeah. So which is why I can comfortably say they were crappy. But yeah, that was kind of a funny. I have told that story about that zoo experience so many times around people about the time we went to the LA Zoo and they put Donkey Kong barrels in the actual gorilla enclosure and the gorillas just knocked
they're
them
just
away and it
barrels.
had nothing to do with it. But I mean, they had DK logos. They had DK logos.
Did they?
But and then they had a guy dressed as Donkey Kong outside the enclosure. Fortunately, not in the enclosure. And then they had exactly two 3DSs that were running demos of the game.
I don't remember the DS. Oh, you're right. I do remember.
They were under that very
They're
tiny
white.
tent.
Yeah, they were like under a white tent.
Oh, it was an extra. It was called Conquering the LA Zoo, and it was from May 28th, 2013. So that's the era of Elvis.
Reliable narrator.
That's the era. Oh, and it's a bunch of foes, and they're not that crappy. I take it back. They're just small. But I did okay. I did not give
I still
myself
have my
credit.
photo of that day.
And you know what? I'm wrong. It was 2 tables of DSs, so there were 8 3DSs total.
Wow, this video
Wow.
only
That
outputs
makes
at
you think
720p
what else you were wrong
total.
about.
I know. What else did I lowball?
Like, were there
expectations on.
DK letters on the barrels? Were there pictures of the barrels? I want to know.
There are pictures of the barrels, and they're not DK layers. They're full-on Donkey Kong Country Returns logos, it turns out.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Wait, where can I find these photos?
Yeah. If you search, go to a website called ramtown.com. Go to a thing called extras. Tell me if this sounds
All right.
familiar. And scroll around until you find it. It's on page, I don't know what. Or you can use
Weren't
the
you already
search
on
box
it?
we have and just type in. I found it through
Wait.
Google. So you can also just Google it.
Like, just tell me how you're seeing it, not way.
Extra Conquering the LA Zoo Ram Nintendo. However you choose to navigate there.
It's
is
also
up
on
to
page
you.
3. It's
Why
on page
can't
3.
you just
Thank
copy
you,
the
page
link
three.
and put it in the chat?
That's
Because
also
I'm
true.
also telling
That's
because
true.
there's more
Send it to
people
me.
because there's more people listening to this than just us, and they need to know how to get there. I can't put it in the chat of the world.
I promise you that they
I-
do
I
not
actually-
need
I
to know how to
literally-
get there.
Wow,
Frankly,
the logo's upside down. That's funny.
On the barrel, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
'cause he's
the
like
monkey
grabbing
knocked
the
it around.
bananas
Yeah.
from the top, but the logo's upside down. So unless it opens
Also,
from
for
both
what it's
sides.
worth, come to think of it, I could give it to the group chat of the world by putting it in the blog post for this episode, which I will now do.
I didn't get
after this
anything
episode.
by typing extra conquering on images.
Okay, you know what? I'm just going to put it in the chat. World, go to the blog post. Elvis, go to the chat.
Elvis is in one of the pictures.
He's in the picture?
Yeah, playing the 3DS. He's.
Are we
hair is just as
doxing him right
long.
now? Elvis, you come back after all these years and we immediately dox you. Congrats. Oh, he is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait, are you Angel? Is that your
I guess
back
that was it.
next to him?
Yeah, I guess that's me wearing the black shirt. I'm all like, wow, I used to be skinny.
Oh, yeah, that is you.
Who is this person between Elvis
In between
and I?
you? Your new best friend.
I see the vid.
I can't believe you don't remember his name. All right, I'm sending it, Elvis. What riveting
I think
podcast
Mon-
content. Just
That's
like
just
sharing
Campo's
links back and
Gorilla.
forth.
Yeah, maybe that is Montenegro.
No, I'm pretty sure he was there. I
And
don't
then
remember. I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Well, anyway, so we have a podcast, guys, that we're currently on and in. What's new? How are you?
We started down this path.
Yeah.
Now we're going to end it. Okay.
The show's ending? Okay. Everyone, you can find us on your favorite podcast apps.
They've come a long way from that costume Donkey Kong to the one in Universal. That's for sure.
I'm excited to see that. I am going to be going to Universal Epic Universe pretty soon, so I'm excited to see that in person and make the comparison for myself.
But it's cool that they kept like the blueprints of it. You know, it's like the
It's like the skeleton.
yeah, because like
Sorta.
it's all there, just better made.
It's like watching the evolution of the game's graphics themselves, but in real life.
Did you
Which
have
is
to
it just
use
gets more-
Times New Roman for the photos?
What?
When you click on the
Whoa.
photos and you get like a little blurb, did you have to use Times
Yeah.
New Roman?
I think that is the plugin we're using that just randomly made it Times New Roman, because the rest of our site does not use Times New Roman. These were from the old layout of RAM More RAM Nintendo lore. These are from the old layout of RamNintendo.com, and I like updated all the layouts, and then I think I did not change the font from the generic on the photo gallery.
Comment by Aqueous Kitty.
God damn it.
Oh, that's Elvis. That's Elvis. That's
I
Elvis.
remember that name.
That is Elvis.
Guy, woman in a Donkey Kong costume. There's no way to know for sure.
And that's an Elvis comment. That's something you would say. That's something you would say.
It's
a very
true.
good
We never.
It's a
I
fair
don't think
point.
know to this day.
We probably assume that everyone in a costume is the gender of the character they're being, be it at Disneyland, Super Nintendo World, Donkey Kong at a zoo. But in reality, who knows? Who are we to say? Who are we to say?
Wow.
Every time you see Mickey Mouse, is it actually Minnie inside? Or Mickey? Is it a Minnie or a Mickey?
That
Who's to say?
reminded me that I did comment like on a few
You did.
of these. Oh, I gotta go back and read them.
You have a long history with RAM Nintendo, just not as an official fourth chair, third chair. Kevin swooped in and took that from you, the third chair opportunity.
I also remember, since you ran the website, obviously you could like check the IP address and you would like figure out that it was us.
Dude, I didn't even check the IP address. It was so obvious. No one else would be posting that or care to post that or talk like Elvis talks.
I mean, that's not even crazy comment. It's just
No, it's not. It's just
Or
a
the
Elvis
username.
comment.
Or
The
that's
username.
effective.
Yeah, I mean, it's so obviously you.
That's one I remember. Having,
Even if you like ran it
Mario
through a
one.
VPN, I'd still know it's you. Like it's I know you. We've been friends forever. I know you.
I'm
You
curious.
probably thought you were so sneaky and stealthy. Like, oh, I'm Batman. I'm the Batman of leaving comments. He'll never see me in the shadows. I saw you instantly with a big old spotlight.
No, I did.
But anyway.
I remember the fun part was coming up with different names. But is this the same website? Oh yeah, it is the same website. Okay, cool.
Maybe it's just the same website. Man,
Like I can
what are you talking
like everything's archived like from the first.
Oh
one.
yeah. We made a point, as we said, the old show, to leave everything there and kind of with the ability to go back to it, so people like you can go bask in your former glory of funny names and random one sentence comments.
Oh, 2015. You knew someone named Andrew and Satoshi. That's crazy. That's over 10 years
Hey,
ago.
so did you, because Satoshi, I guess Andrew Satoshi, was a regular commenter at the time and a regular listener, and I hope he's doing well.
Oh.
Yeah, I just randomly clicked on two different editorials and Satoshi commented on both.
Satoshi commented.
Very
Well,
significant. comments too, like whole paragraph.
Oh yeah, he was great about like really like we always put no one does it. I'm not calling out our listeners who are on the other end of this recording. I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying every episode we're like, what do you think? What's your game you're playing? What's your favorite this or that? No one says. No one tells us. Maybe we could use your recommendations, guys, but we never get them. But Satoshi did. And Elvis under 12 different pseudonyms did. So.
It was like bot buying before bot buying.
Yeah, it was a one-man bot army, but no bot. Just you,
I had to get the
just
conversation
you doing the hard
going,
labor.
you know?
Yeah, yeah. And Satoshi was a real person did too. And to be fair, we do have some, current great, like Kurt is someone that comes to mind as a listener right now. That's, very
Are there
two-way street with him, which is great. We still need to get him on the show. Kurt, I didn't forget the invitation. It's coming.
Kurt?
It's coming.
We'll get him on
what
when
milk turns into?
When Elvis gets off the show.
Yeah.
We can only have so many people. Elvis, you're taking up a spot for Kurt.
We'll get Kurt on when the huge Xbox showcase comes out, and Kurt can talk about that.
I actually had that thought too. Yeah, like when there's all the confusion about like what's Xbox doing with their hardware and their all that. I was thinking that'd be a great time, but then Thanksgiving and the holidays came
Speaking
up.
of
and
Kurt,
it kind of fell
here's
the
a
wayside.
comment from them from 2018. Wow, great.
Yeah, he's been a long time listener. Shout out Kurt. Shout out Satoshi. Shout out Elvis.
Do we still know?
Nope, here.
Nope, that's
Hi,
the
Elvis.
last person we're shouting out.
I guess we don't need to if he's here. Yeah, should we get into some topics for this episode? Because we do have a pretty healthy list of things that you guys have been watching and doing and playing. And we could keep doing.
By the way. I've been fantastic.
Thank you. Finally, okay.
Just skip over the "How are you guys" segment. Wow.
I said it twice and no one answered me, so it wasn't for lack of trying.
Well,
But okay, fine. Kevin, tell me more about how you're doing.
Angel, how have you been?
Tired.
Tired,
Good, but tired.
tired but good. Elvis, how have you been?
And Elvis, how are you?
How have you been in the last 4 years that we haven't talked to you?
Me?
Oh.
I'm good,
I'll just say
I'm good.
this real quick before I forget it. You'll like this.
That little sumo game.
So
on 3DS,
I
what was it
got-
called?
Wait, what?
The little sumo game
What?
on 3DS. What was it called?
Okay, there's
Little
now two conversations
Okay.
that are going on concurrently.
I just saw a
Sumo
photo
game
of
from
it.
3DS.
Yeah.
How did we get on
Uh,
3DS sumo games?
Sakurai Samurai? No, that's Sakura.
No, that was not a
Sakura
sumo
something.
game.
Yeah, I
He
think
has,
it's
Angel,
Sakura.
I asked
No,
you how
Sak-
you were, not
he has white. Yeah.
Sumo game.
Sorry.
Angel, respond to your true co-host, not the newbie. How are you? No offense.
Oh,
Elvis.
so besides tired, I guess you would enjoy this. So I accidentally got some details of Expedition 33 spoiled for myself because of what I communicated. I basically confused an act for a chapter. So when people ask me, "Oh, I don't want to spoil anything for you, so let me know, are you on chapter? Like, just let me know. Oh, just tell me where you are." And Pushmo.
That's not a sumo game. That's not a sumo game.
It's a sumo character.
It's a little sumo character.
The character is literally a sumo wrestler.
I was thinking, so I googled 3DS sumo game while you were talking about what you were talking about, Angel, and it came up with Pokemon Sun and Moon's abbreviation of sumo, and I was like, well, that can't be it.
I like that you're trying to figure it out.
Of course I was. So much that I couldn't tell you what Elvis or Angel was just talking about. To be honest, I was like the thing Angel was saying. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, but point is, I said like oh yeah, I think I'm actually like halfway through Act 3, and they're like okay cool. So like about like something about a father, and like they were saying like a couple names or something, and then I'm like and they also like name dropped a couple characters. I'm like I don't recognize that name, and they're like wait like where are you? And I'm like I think I'm still collecting stones for Escape. And I'm like dude, you're like in Act 1.
You still haven't hit Act 2. And you told them that you were in the middle of Act 3. That's insane.
So there are these little seeds now because I guess there's a father. I don't know whose father, but I'm sure
Okay.
I have some guesses I could make just based on a character
that's
I've
been going on
seen
so far?
that
Yeah.
looks like another character.
Okay,
that I was already theorizing. Was like, oh, this guy is either like a future version of him or like his dad. So just hearing that, like, oh, okay, it might be the latter. It's too much of a coincidence. But I mean, that doesn't really change much. I feel like I still don't know enough context to really be like, whoa, what does that spoil? But I thought that was funny that it could have potentially been worse. But yeah. What was it? Sumo, Pushmo, awesome game.
I never thought of him as a sumo, but I guess he is.
What do you mean?
And
That's what he is. The hairdo.
Okay, I didn't think of it. I just said I didn't
Pushmo?
think of it. I'm not
Sumo is all
denying
about
it.
pushing?
I said I didn't think of it. I just thought of him as a fun little circle with, I don't know.
Was it underwear? It was like a little thong?
A circle needs pants too. Not everyone can be naked like Kirby. Like some circles need clothes.
But that's why, like, but the use of the underwear makes like Pushmo look more naked than Kirby, you know? Like, if you think about it, like the addition of it, like, makes it more.
Then you're like, where's the shirt at that point? Yeah, yeah. Kirby, you're like, oh, he's just Kirby. But then you're like, yeah, this is a shirtless.
I guess Kirby.
circle.
I guess Pushmo is packing and Kirby isn't.
That's true.
Why did I have to go there? Why
We have an
are
episode
we
called-
discussing?
We have an episode titled called like Rayman's Packing or something along those lines, right?
Oh, what Rayman's packing?
Yeah.
We do. And now we have one that what's Pushmo packing. Great. Okay. Anyway. Elvis, how are you doing in the last, as Kevin said, 4 years since we had you on the podcast? Sum up
good.
4 years in 2 sentences. Go.
Word.
It's good,
Oh,
just
that's
like
pretty
the
good.
average, like of your highs and your lows. It just
Yeah, did it
averaged to good.
Fun to average it out. It's been fun. 4 years.
It's been fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Lots of
So
traveling.
the last 1,460 days can be summed up in pretty good and fun.
Yeah. Pretty good life.
Cool. Great.
Became
That's
an
great.
uncle.
There, now
Traveled.
we're getting into the meat and potatoes.
Probably went to Japan 3 or 4 times in that period, and a couple countries as well.
Probably Japan twice. Japan twice was in the 4 years. And Germany, Ireland. And Spain? Yeah.
Wait. I heard space. You went to space?
Spain.
Were you on Blue Origin with Katy Perry? Was that you? You went to space?
In a way.
Well, that's good. Glad to hear. And glad to have you back. Even though, frankly, I didn't think you were... So, everyone listen,
Is that
he's
Katy
been
Perry
like in our...
reference for Kevin, or like
No, that's just like, it was a thing that happened that was like,
She
people
got
giving her
launched.
flack for a long time. Into space.
Yeah, what was she getting
She-
back for again? Like she said it sucked or something? Or what?
No, she made some weird comment about like, I don't remember. Something about saying why she went to space or something. I don't exactly remember, but she was getting a lot of flack afterwards. Like people were making fun of it. And now she's dating the former Prime Minister of Canada. So, you know, that's how things go.
She's dating Justin Trudeau.
Yep. And
Katy
they like
Perry?
went to... Yeah.
you just know the Prime Minister of Canada off the top of your head.
Yes,
You don't?
The former prime minister. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
former.
know. I don't know who the current prime minister is. But
Actually, I don't readily know either. I don't think. I want to say it's like something with like Cerny, but that might be either the guy that runs Epic Games, or not Epic Games, the guy that does the PS4 or PlayStation architecture, or
Mark Cerny.
Mark Carney is the Prime Minister of Canada, and Mark Cerny is the PlayStation hardware guy.
Yeah, I saw
There
Mark,
we go.
Mark
He's
Cerny once.
why the PS5 looks like the PS5.
Yes,
I
and
don't
he's
think
not
so.
the guy ruling.
Not necessarily. The PS5
Oh, no, yeah,
doesn't
that's
look,
true.
Doesn't look like it because of him.
He's the internal architect, the innards. He's why the guts are what they are, but the outside might have been done by someone else. Where did you see Mark Cerny, Kevin?
At the airport. I'm pretty sure it
Oh.
was 2016 when we went to Japan. Which would make sense because
That's
I'm
funny.
pretty sure his wife is Japanese. Yeah.
I mean, okay.
That's kind of a cool random sighting. It's nowhere near the same level at all, so I don't know why I mentioned it. But 3 weeks ago, I walked past David Spade
Competitive
on the
case.
street.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so that's
Kevin
fun.
Spade?
it's no Mark Cerny, but
David Spade.
Oh, David Spade.
I mean, it's Cusco. That's pretty cool.
That's true.
you know what was
Cusco,
weird
it's,
about it is so
What's that one movie that Dickie Roberts? Who's Dickie
is that
Roberts?
his maybe,
Yeah. Joe Dirt.
but
Bench warmers?
yeah, Joe Dirt, yeah.
Bench
What was
warmers, yeah.
weird is like I walked
Isn't he
past
also
him and I was
King
like,
of
I don't.
Queens? I mean, he's Kevin James.
Nope, that's Kevin James.
What are the
no,
grown-ups?
I know.
Grown-ups one,
I know.
grown-ups two?
I know he's like really good friends with.
He's
Oh, I
grown
guess
up.
they all are.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he's in the Adam Sandler like clique. Yeah,
Grown-ups. That's Adam Sandler, David Spade, Chris Rock, and Kevin James.
Kevin James.
Is he the fourth one?
He's in there. Yeah,
Grown Ups.
And I think Schneider's randomly in it too.
I think Schneider is in it.
Yeah, but he's like probably like a supporting character or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, what was weird about Spade is like, so I walked past him, I was like, kind of looks like David Spade. And he was wearing like this bright blue tracksuit. I can't tell you why. And then like the next day he went, like something was going kind of viral about him doing an interview with some influencer at his house. Like not an Aiden Ross, but like an Aiden Ross type. And he was wearing the same bright blue tracksuit. And I'm like, oh, that was him. Like, what are the odds he's in the tracksuit and then going viral the next day?
He didn't wash it.
Well, no, I think they filmed it the day I saw him, and it went live the next day. It wasn't a live stream. So just kind of like, oh, that's funny. Like, I didn't think I'd ever get confirmation. I was just like, I guess that's David Spade. I'll never know. And then literally the internet's like, here you go, it's David Spade. So
I thought you thought all TV and media was live.
No. What? No. How would that work for most things? Anyway, this is when I learned things have pre and post production. Yeah. Speaking of things that you can see on TV and movies, I feel like we should probably get them.
That sounds like a transition.
I've been great.
I have seen Conan.
I've been fantastic. Go ahead.
Have you, Kevin?
Go ahead.
Would you like to tell us more?
Go ahead. Wow. Go ahead to the TVs and music and whatever the hell. I'm done.
Damn,
no, you're not, Kevin, because there's one thing I do want to hear about. That
can wait. Elvis also. That can wait. We'll split it up in between the 2 hours of Nintendo news that you have.
Do you want? Well, the Nintendo news is all one hunk of stuff.
You can split it somewhere, and then I'll talk. because I'm not about to listeners with 2 hours of Nintendo. I refuse, especially when some of those are financials.
Hey, those are the best type of Nintendo news. How dare you? How dare you? Also, I will point out, you were like, I don't want to host. Jason, you host. And then the host was like, here's what I'm going to do. And then you're like, no, now I'm hosting and this is what we're doing. So, but it's fine.
He is the captain.
I wanted to hear about his Linux building journey that he teased last episode.
We can, and we will later on in the episode.
God, okay. So it sounds like we're starting with Nintendo. Okay, we'll start with Nintendo. I'm figuring out where I'll do the break. Maybe I'll talk about one thing.
You completely broke him.
Okay.
You derailed him.
You did.
That wasn't part of the plan.
This episode was derailed as soon as you joined the episode, okay?
No,
this episode, we are 30 minutes in almost, and we have not talked about a single actual tangible topic. We talked about, we went deep into the annals of random Nintendo lore.
All right. I'm gonna be completely honest. I had absolutely zero. God, what are you laughing at?
There's life before deadlock and after deadlock.
So, anyways, I had zero, not hope. I had zero faith that
faith.
Yeah, that Elvis was actually going to go along with this. I thought that he was playing it so long that as soon as we hit record, he'd leave the Discord. I was like, that's why I'm not gonna give him anything. I'm not gonna say hi to him. I'm not. He texted me today. Hey, is Audacity okay? And I said, I don't care. I said, I don't care what program anybody uses, not specifically him, because I was like, no, I knew that you were gonna back out of it at the last second.
Well, you better be okay with it now, because that's what I'm recording on.
Hey, what did my text said to you? I am platform agnostic. I don't care what is used to record, as long as it's exportable as an MP3.
Kevin, do you have the fear
that you gave me that answer thinking I wasn't going to join? So I could have been like,
no, because that's a neutral answer. Like, because you specifically asked if I use Audacity, is that okay? I'm like, I don't care what program anybody uses.
Oh, that's
trying to give you any little piece.
I will say it is funny that we have a random Nintendo group chat, and we added Elvis like before the quarantini episode, so like weeks ago. And every time we talk about,
dude, I've been a member since like 2013.
The text chain.
Oh, you're talking about text message.
Yeah, the text message chain. Sorry,
you've been a random Nintendo acquaintance. Like, okay, don't start with that membership.
And you've been an RNA. We all know the term RNA. But no, we were talking about you. Like every time we talk about some podcast, Elvis would chime in as like today. We're like, okay, what time are we recording? And he's just like, what do you write? Where'd it go?
Well, I was getting bullied out of it.
Podcast nerves too, or what? Like, just like I don't know. But or like the other day, he just out of the blue in the chat put, "Hey yo, when my me getting added though?" to like our cover art, and we had to explain that this is an Urkel situation where you start as a guest character and you slowly work your way up until you're retconned into the earlier seasons.
Intro, like
ultimately he didn't get put until season 2, but then they went back and added it in season 1. Just like in this case, if Elvis were to make his way to that level of being in Random Nintendo, if we change our cover art on our like podcast feed, all the old episodes will have him on it too, just like Urkel.
Do we have seasons?
Well, you could argue Random or Nintendo's a season and Random non. Are we boring? Are we boring someone with all that? Was that you, Elvis? You
No,
joined
that
us,
was not
Tion?
me.
No, that was Kevin.
Oh,
That was Kevin. I saw a little green bubble go up when
I just said,
It would have been so funny if it was Elvis. Anyway,
On my own
so how about
podcast?
some Nintendo stuff?
That's true.
Nintendo stuff? So
yeah, and I have to update the
okay.
timestamp. It's no longer accurate.
Well, nothing's accurate in this episode. Part of me thinks
damn,
we
we're
just
at
are. This
31
episode,
minutes.
I know. I also have this fear that the long con is going to go so far that after we record, Elvis is just not going to save the file and be like, "Oh, whoops!" and then this whole episode's gone.
I'm afraid we're
That
going to
is
get to the 1 hour
that's
mark.
one of my
Like,
biggest fears. That's like one of my biggest
That is
fears that he's
legit,
going to mess
right?
something up or his audio is going to be trash. I'm going to be so mad, especially because it just took us an entire year to fix Angel's audio.
I mean,
That said,
I didn't
Angel, you
test
sound
it,
wonderful
so-
now.
Oh,
You
my
did not?
God.
You did not. I can't wait until this episode's live and it's the three of us talking and then just on the other end with no.
I'm
understanding of who
getting
that fourth
picked up
person is.
100%, but like I'm pretty sure it looks loud enough.
It better not be
There's
by your
the gr-
webcam because I swear to God.
We're gonna be
No,
above
no,
water and
no.
he's gonna sound like he's 30 feet underwater. Yeah. Anyway, Nintendo happenings, guys.
I hope
So
Mike doesn't die.
Sometimes my computer does a weird thing, but I don't think it will today. Anyway, Nintendo stuff. Let's do it. So I did want to talk about. There've been a lot of big Nintendo happenings these past few weeks, like since we last recorded, and they all kind of. I wanted to like introduce them in like a probably one-off new segment that I'm calling Nintendo, like kind of defeated O, because if you exclude the Mario Galaxy movie marketing that's firing on all cylinders and has been popping up at the Olympics and the Super Bowl and all that, I think everything we've seen come out of Nintendo besides that has followed a pattern where it's great at face value and then you go a little deeper and there's some stuff that just makes you pause and go, oh. Like, let me illustrate with maybe the smallest example. Tomodachi
Yes,
Life,
please.
Living the Dream. Yes. So we got, oh, you're so eager, Angel. So we got a direct for Tomodachi Life at the start of the month. It seems like Nintendo's going all in on combining what worked well from the first game with like the more elaborate Mii customization stuff from Miitopia, and they're all being packaged together in a way that's kind of like for the Animal Crossing crowd with now an island theme and island customization, and quite literally some decorations like certain wallpapers are taken straight out of New Horizons and plopped into Tomodachi Life, which is smart, right? Like Animal Crossing sold I think it's just shy of 50 million copies now, which is crazy. But that's a huge audience who in theory Nintendo can turn to and say, you know, if you love the customization options you had in your favorite cozy game, Animal Crossing, what about this other cozy game where now you're customizing the social interactions too? So face value, surface level seems great. 20-minute direct seemed great. Everything makes sense. But then there's the part that made me go, oh. Which is, well, two parts actually. First part, smaller of the two. As of now, there's no Switch 2 edition at all. Not like a huge deal, but a little surprising given how beneficial mouse controls could be to this game. Like when you're making all sorts of pixel by pixel patterns on your Miis or their faces or making designs for their clothes or their wall. Like Nintendo knows it's a plus to support the mouse at this point. They just added it to the Switch 2 edition of Animal Crossing. There's arguably more individual customizing and drawing to do in Tomodachi Life because of the Mii customization. It's a little weird it's not there, but, you know, that could be announced closer to launch, after, could be a selling point added whenever if it happens. The bigger O came not from the Direct, but a simultaneous announcement right after, and that was Nintendo is limiting a lot of what you can share from the game. In-game, that means zero functionalities to support sharing your custom Miis or items online. And on a system level, they're limiting, like outright blocking, the ability to upload screenshots or videos of the game from your Switch's albums to the internet. Instead, if you want to take any screenshots and put them out for the world to see, you'll need to seemingly go through the extra steps of taking out your SD card, putting it in a computer, uploading it there, or, as more people probably do, you just take an off-screen photo, but now, you know, you have to like have your phone and do the thing. And Nintendo didn't say why they're limiting these features, but in this era of the 2020s internet, I'm sure we can imagine the horrific, insensitive, inappropriate memes, items, interactions that people can come up with in Tomodachi Life and put on the internet. You know, never mind cyberbullying possibilities among younger players. So by not giving easy ways to upload, I guess Nintendo's sort of giving themselves plausible deniability. You know, a user-generated content that's created and put online will be very clearly made by users, not Nintendo, if it's an off-screen photo of something they did in the game versus like an official-looking screenshot. Like, I think that's kind of the logic. But man, at the same time, what a potential whiff this is for the game's word of mouth, the game's shareability, any sense of multiplayer. Like, everything they're doing seems cool for your one-off individual experience with the game. But part of why the original Tomodachi Life blew up and sold like 7 million copies is because of the virality of it all. Like Twitter in particular, I remember, was flooded with images and videos of celebrity or like character pairings doing funny things, people's unique me's. I'm sure in smaller social circles or group chats or among the Elvises of the world with stuff like the comments he put on Nintendo, you know, friends were sharing scenarios that they put each other in or weird little personal joke, like inside jokes and stuff. Street Pass let you share your custom Mii's, and that only like kind of made the like schoolyard virality of it even stronger for those like small social circles of people in real life. Honestly, even a lot of Animal Crossing's explosion in popularity during the pandemic can be traced back to people sharing their islands and custom setups online. But now, in the interest of surely some legit concerns around protecting kids, but also Nintendo wanting to protect their own image, mainly to the parents of those kids. But, you know, because of all that's now gone with Tomodachi Life, which seems like, in theory, you can do it. You can jump through hoops. Like, if you're friends with people and you're a kid on a playground, you can easily just turn your system to them and be like, look what you're doing. Or you could take a photo on your phone and send it off. But the folks who are going to jump through the hoops to get the direct feed videos and photos off their SD card are the ones that are going to be the nefarious people with nefarious intentions. Those are still going to get uploaded. Those are still going to get passed around. Those are still going to be on the internet in the like official looking quality. Basically what Nintendo did was made it just as likely that those will happen, but harder for legit people to use the sharing features in legit ways. Like they're putting roadblocks for normal people while the nefarious ones will just jump through the hoops no problem. And it's just going to be a big old speed bump for the organic word of mouth that made like Tomodachi Life 1 into such a big hit. So that was kind of one of those moments with Nintendo where it's like, oh, there's a lot of cool stuff, but oh, you're doing that too? Like, is it detrimental to the overall gameplay experience? No, minus losing, you know, easy ways for friends to give each other a custom Mii's. But is it something that, like, coming out of the Direct certainly gave some pause and kind of gave me like a moment? Yeah, it kind of did. I don't know. It just seems kind of odd, right? That they'd sort of be that, like, not censoring, but put that much of a layer of a barrier.
I'll give you that. It definitely gave me like that Nintendo would mess with the sharing features at all. That's just like something that they could even mess with. Like, because, you know, you think like, oh yeah, take a screenshot. I could do whatever I want with it. But wait, so let me get this. Like, so you can't even like. No, I guess not. Like,
you cannot send them to your Switch app and upload them that way. No. You have to manually, physically move the file out of the Switch via an SD card. Like, physically pull, it's as if you're pulling the photos off your Switch into a non-Nintendo device in order to do anything. Yeah.
But it's still like because I remember like in the first one, there was like the whole opera house where like you would make it sing like crazy lyrics. But like.
In theory, stuff like that. The opera house didn't pop up in the Direct, but in theory, stuff like that's still there. You just don't have a way to like present it to the world where it's not like janky, shaky cam from your phone filming a Switch sing on a table, you know?
Fun. Yeah, because other ones used to be like the raw or the actual footage of it.
Yeah, like the image share feature on the 3DS. Like people, that is how the game blew up. 7 million is a lot for a game like that. Like this game went far. And I don't know.
It was Miiverse in that time, huh?
So people are sharing stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely like a big piece of the Tomodachi Life puzzle, so to speak, or a big piece of the appeal, I feel like, is make the stuff, share the stuff. And now it's just like, make the stuff and chuckle to yourself. And that's as much as you can do now, you know? So I'm curious. Like, again, it's one of those things where the game has a lot of cool features, but this seems like 2 step forward, 1 step back type of thing. So I mean, frankly, I wasn't going to get the game either way. I think the idea of let's do Animal Crossing, but about social interactions is cool. But, like, I don't know. I don't have the patience to make a me of you guys. I'm curious,
so, like, you being Nintendo's basically...
stalker?
Well, let's say if you were to play Nintendo's advocate, can you think of any positive way to spin that?
Yeah. You protect. Oh, did you want me to share it? Yeah, no.
No. That isn't like a general, like, you know, like the one you had to say, like, yeah, like, you know, security. Yeah, like that's kind of like an easy one. But
I mean, for them, if this is a
something that is more directly to, like, you know, the person that would have wanted to share, like actually, this is actually a good thing.
No, there is no good thing. There is no good thing. It's to the parents of the person that wants to share that I can go see we're taking care of you. But here's the underlying issue with that. There are parental controls. There is a Switch app dedicated to parental controls. You could put on your phone and monitor what your kid does and who they game chat with on Switch 2 and everything. They could just build a toggle to turn off the ability to share things online. That's seen, and then if you're an adult, you can. If you're
that should be easy enough.
Yes.
Maybe.
But again, I don't think they're saying it's to. I mean, they're not saying anything, but the initial appearances they're doing it to protect kids for their parents, to make their parents happy to buy the game, right? But in reality, I do think it's Nintendo covering their own bases, where they don't want a situation where someone uploads a fun interaction between Hitler and Charlie Kirk, and everyone's like, "Ha," and then it goes viral, and a whole half of the country
There's no difference
freaks
there.
out. Yeah, but you know, I mean, like there's like they don't want that to be in the zeitgeist in a way where it looks like Nintendo endorsed it. So if you're doing it off a device and you have to take a photo of it, in theory, it's clear. Oh well, someone made this in the same way you can make something in Roblox. But if it looks like an officially sanctioned screenshot, it gets a little dicier. I think is Nintendo's train of thought. Of course, it's undercut by the fact that you can just pop your SD card out and do it that way, but. Yeah, I think that's kind of some of the logic there.
It's not too
from
much
their
of a hassle,
perspective. But there's no like easy explanation. What?
It's not too much of a hassle popping out the SD card.
Exactly, that's the thing. They're adding a speed bump for the like actual easy like legit sharing, where it's like if it's kids that just want to be like, I want to send. I'm little Timmy and I want to send little Johnny my. I did a funny interaction where he's dancing with like a turtle or something. He can't easily do that. He has to, Mom, can I use the computer? But you know.
The parents are talking like he's still saying little in front of all his friends' names and himself.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But then but then, you know, alt-right QAnon, whoever is going to upload whoever he wants because he'll go through the hoops. And he's an adult with a ulterior motive, you know? So he'll go through those hoops. It's no problem for him. He'll do the extra steps. Yeah, so that's where it kind of falls apart to me. But we'll see how.
Are you saying you're going to post the most vulgar, obscene thing just to prove a point?
I mean, first of all, I just said I'm not buying the game. Thank you, Elvis. I'm glad you're here now.
I was taken back because all of that just to like not be part of the community.
Well, no, because it's not about. I'm not like
That's
it's
true.
not about
Jason
me buying the game. It's about the
zeitgeist, as they put it.
Yeah, but I won't have to sit there and make all these me's, and you can't import me's either. It sounds like so. At least not through the internet. You might be able to do like a code or something, but and honestly, I don't need the interactions the game can provide because you guys already do enough weird stuff to me, so it's fine. I get my
what is that?
What the hell was that?
What is that? You guys already do weird things to me?
Yeah, go look at Elvis's comments on Ram Nintendo from 10 years ago from Aquarius Kitty. Like that's
Aqueous.
You already do weird things to me.
With Aqueous.
I'm the one that manages the site. Whatever, same difference. Yeah, Aquarius I guess would be a sign, but that's what I meant.
Like a mermaid cat. It's like cute. Lives in the water.
That's what you meant. I'm sure that's exactly what you meant. But yeah, so that's kind of the small, the microcosm, the tiny example of the Nintendo feeling I've been having with different stuff. I could go to the next one, but Kevin, you wanted this all broken up. So do you want to talk about your Linux adventures now? Can I finally prod that out of you?
No, keep going.
Okay, next on the hit parade. So now that we have the idea of the Nintendo thing.
Oh, God, that was just Tomodachi Life?
Let's kick it up a notch. Yeah, because that's Tomodachi Life. You guys suck, but I also love you guys. Okay, so
crazy.
The next thing I want to talk about, this one has more meat to it. Hopefully, for you guys.
I'm sitting down for this one.
I hope you're saying that for this. Can you imagine what I'm going to say? The Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase.
You're gonna hate this one.
Yeah, if you thought that was okay, no, but the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase, which just happened the other day, a week after Tomodachi's. Yeah, me too. And on paper, going into it, seemed great. Lots of momentum. There's rumors of Switch 2 dev kit shortages. Those rumors seem to have subsided.
That was not
subsided because.
Showcase.
Well, I know, correct, but going into it, all those rumors kind of subside because we started getting big third-party games in December with like no warning sometimes. So they just like came out of nowhere, like 2 days notice. Here's Assassin's Creed Shadows. Oh, where'd that come from? Doesn't matter. Play it. So like it seemed like we were over the hump of like third parties not being able to get games out. We started to hear about major day and date releases of Switch 2 versions of games like Resident Evil Requiem. There are rumblings of like other major third party games on the horizon. There's a lot of rumors like Metaphor, for example, coming to Switch 2. There's rumors of entirely new games that are perfect for a Nintendo audience. Like there's a Rayman Anniversary game. No one knows what it is, but just got rated. That would be a great thing to show at a partner showcase. There's all this buzz around existing, just released Switch 2 versions of games. Final Fantasy VII Remake is apparently really good on Switch 2. Like, it runs really well. Top of Amazon's bestsellers for a good chunk of time now. So even if the Direct was only a partner showcase and only third party, it seemed like there's inertia of like big third party titles coming into this. And then the presentation happened. And if you take out the games previously announced for Switch 2, big is not a word I'd use for most of what we saw. I posted something similar to this when it, like the morning it aired, but the presentation kind of felt like those late years of E3 where, when every publisher, every big player decided they're going to reveal things on their own time at their own event. So instead, all that was left was like smaller stuff. Whoa. Stuff that we previously knew about, but now is being pitched to Nintendo people. Like a Nintendo crowd. What were you going to
say? Where did you say you posted this? That it was like E3?
On threads and Twitter, on my threads and Twitter. Which you unfollowed me on because I apparently spoiled something for you from Mario. So
not apparently,
so
you did, but yeah.
Yeah. And I apologize. But yeah, so so like it was kind of like the smaller scale stuff, and that was what the partner showcase was after all this inertia that seemed like it'd be a big blowout. And there was certainly strong stuff in it. Capcom in particular had great showing. Resident Evil, Pragmata, Monster Hunter Stories 3, Square Enix.
In Resident Evil, they like missed all their shots and didn't make contact. Just to
yeah, because they had to keep it. They had to be able to air it in Japan, where the rating board's a lot stricter about like Z-rated games. So you're not even allowed to show footage. So yeah, Resident Evil, they missed all. Leon missed all his shots. There was a couple other games where like it was super apparent too that. Oh, Indiana Jones, same situation. He was shooting at the ground at one point.
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, it's like it's silly they have to do that, but I kind of get it because they want to make this the most accessible presentation in terms of who can get access to watch it. But yeah, like notice. Yeah, people picked up on it real fast. I admittedly didn't at first notice, but as soon as people said, "Did you see that?" I knew exactly the shots they were talking about, like which games and which scenes.
Well,
yeah,
the funny thing is, like I did see people reposting the clips from Indiana Jones, and then they're just like the title. You feel like I can't believe they did this, and I watched the video so many times, and I never knew what the heck they were talking about. Like
he's like shooting literally at the ground. Yeah,
it went over my head. Like I thought I didn't realize that was that. I guess, but
yeah, but and to be fair, the fact that those games are in the presentation is that was Resident Evil's a big get. Pragmata's a game that has some momentum behind it. Monster Hunter Stories 3 is big. Square Enix, putting Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in there, that's noteworthy. Bethesda showed up. Obviously, they had Indiana Jones, which they reconfirmed fully on a game card, not a key card, which is nice. And they announced what else did Bethesda announce? Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, which I think is out later this month. So that's kind of nicely timed with Fallout Season 2 just wrapping up. And Elder Scrolls, I'm sure it's not. and Elder Scrolls Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, that also popped up. I mean, to be fair, I would say Fallout 4 and Elder Scrolls did not look particularly hot running on Switch 2. And they've been released a lot of times over by now. And they're like, how old now? So this is kind of where I mean, like, it felt like the showcase had a lot of momentum. And then even when Bethesda shows up, it wasn't for Doom the Dark Ages, even though the two previous Dooms did great on Switch 1. It wasn't for somehow figuring out how to make Starfield work on Switch 2, which apparently rumor is they are trying to figure that out. It was for Fallout 4 and Elder Scrolls and an Indiana Jones game that was already announced for Switch last year.
That was another Nintendo moment.
A bit, yeah, because it's just one of those. It's one of those showcases where I think the momentum coming in and the idea and evidence of how strong Switch 2's third-party support may become was met with that kind of like you were saying, because, and not just me, but it seems like a lot of people online felt a little underwhelmed by it too. Like the lineup of specifically newly announced games in that presentation, just it kind of felt how Nintendo's 2026 first-party lineup currently feels. Like there's a lot coming that'll be fun to play, and some stuff riffs on existing franchises or gameplay in some new ways. Like, Mario Tennis Fever is out this week, and that's kind of an interesting like character tennis racket mixing and matching system. Pokemon Pokepia is out next month, and that's cozy crafting game, but they're injecting like the concepts of Pokemon types and moves into how you do the crafting. So that's maybe kind of interesting. But these aren't like AAA must-have system-selling games, and it feels like a lot of the third-party direct, the partner showcase was the same sort of the new stuff that was announced, the same sort of just like, oh, these are neat, but not like the type of thing that you're saying like 7 months into Switch 2 and you expect like the big blowout, And
this is you speaking like personally as like a Nintendo fan, like.
This is me speaking as a bit of a Nintendo fan, just looking at as someone who, if I'm outside looking in and I'm considering buying a Switch 2, there's nothing there that's that in of itself compelling. Now, it can stack. Someone can go, oh, Resident Evil, I'll get that on Switch 2. Pragmata, I'll get that. Final Fantasy, I'll get that. Like, but a lot of these games are older or smaller or not like a move the needle necessary to get you to get. Like, they need the big guns. And these are like the medium guns, which is not to say there wasn't anything interesting or cool shown, especially among some of the stuff that's previously announced that was included as well. For me, I thought Pragmata was the big winner of the Direct. I gave the demo a whirl. I gave the demo a whirl after the showcase, and not only does it run really well on Switch 2, but the whole hacking mechanic thing is actually really fun. They basically layered like a puzzle game on top of third-person shooting, but it's like a really quick, like twitchy puzzle. Like basically, I don't know if you guys tried the demo on any of the systems, but basically anytime you shoot, you need to do this little tile puzzle that's like to the right of your character, and how you route the cursor through these tiles can change the amount of damage your shot will do, what effects you have, like with the shot, a host of other stuff. I think it could shield you in certain circumstances, and it creates this kind of like high pressure, unique spin on what's otherwise a pretty standard action adventure shooting mechanic. And like legitimately, like I thought it was cool enough that I am seriously considering getting the game when it comes out in April now. And it was not my radar at all outside of, little girl.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm serious.
That's definitely the most non-Jason looking game that I've ever seen you excited for. That's kind of cool.
But it was a really cool demo, yeah. And it runs great on Switch 2. But it's one of those things like, I don't think it's going to sell someone a Switch 2. But if you own a Switch 2...
I don't know if it sold you on it.
Why not?
Could sell on a Switch.
I already have a Switch 2. And it's on every system. That's what I'm saying. And it was previously announced, so it doesn't quite fit the bill of what I was saying about this Direct, where it's like the new stuff. There's the new stuff. I'm trying to think of a good example. Tokyo Scramble is, while interesting in a lot of ways, which we could talk about, is not a system seller. Is not going to make someone buy a Switch 2, I don't think. And I don't know if that was the intention of the Direct. Maybe not. But it wasn't like a powerhouse game that's going to move the needle for people,
I don't know.
Even if you own a Switch 2, it's not like a powerhouse game where like, I'm glad I got a Switch 2 for Tokyo Scramble. So, which is not to say Tokyo Scramble doesn't look kind of... You know what Tokyo Scramble actually kind of looks like?
Tokyo Scramble.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because it reminds me of
the ones with dinosaurs. That ones are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Elvis, not dinosaurs. Xenos.
It's for the common
You would
people.
think it'd be Xenos for dinosaurs.
Had I
Xenos.
said that
Xenos.
to a listener who hadn't seen it, they're not going to know what I'm talking about. I painted a perfect picture on what to expect.
Okay, fine. But these Xenos, no, but the game, it really reminds me of, there's an era of Wii games, like third-party, one-off, exclusive Wii games that used the system's features in some unique ways and simultaneously felt kind of smallish budget. I remember like Deadly Creatures being one of those from like THQ, and you like fought like scorpions that were bigger than they should be, and you use motion control to do it. And this kind of gives, Tokyo Scramble kind of gave me that vibe, because you can only dodge and stealthily avoid the Xenos, and you can do that solo, but The game also fully supports game share and game chat for this absolutely insane, zany mode where multiple people can join into the experience, but you're each doing one thing that you would normally do all of as a single player. So one person will be the camera, one person will be a specific action, one person will be the character movement. And it's like, who knows if it's fun in practice, but it's nice that these smaller tiles are like using some of the unique stuff, like the fact that the Switch can
play together.
It does, honestly, because like the Switch has this, because the Switch has this silly. It would actually be kind of fun. Yeah, it's one of those things you can do on Switch too, because it has this old technology from the Wii U. The technology they use to beam games to the gamepad on the Wii U, they retrofitted to let you beam games to other Switches, which is why Game Share exists. You can have one copy of a game and beam it. Like Orbitals is using it to do co-op. Split Fiction used it to do co-op.
Orbitals are pretty cool.
Yeah, or I mean, it does look cool. It's like It Takes Two meets like 80s anime meets like Daft Punk's One More Time, but then it's all just a co-op campaign. Like it looks fun, but the fact that someone was like, oh, well, I'm going to do this game share thing to split up how people... You only need one copy of the game, but you're all going to do only one part of the game. Like, that's... I'm curious to try it. And some games in the presentation, are using it very... How many people
is it?
4, I think.
So we got Kevin, Elvis, me, and Nigel. Damn.
Wow, I'm iced out. Okay, maybe because I said it's not a system seller. My apologies to Tokyo Scramble. And obviously Tokyo Scramble's...
It's local, too?
Yeah.
Oh, game
share. Yeah, game share can work. You just need multiple consoles.
Well, Kevin doesn't have consoles.
But it can be Switch 2s or Switch 1s.
Oh.
It can beam to both. Yeah, so we can make it work. I mean, I have multiple Switches in my apartment that I could bring over if you include me in the play session. And obviously not...
Switches in our house. Oh.
I do too. I have 4.
Oh, right. Nobody needs a Switch.
Not to one-up you, literally, but I have 4.
Well, I guess we technically have 4 as well.
Always has Switch Lite.
Always has to. Yeah, always have to.
That'll be funny to play.
But yeah, so like something like Tokyo Scramble, it's a neat thing in a presentation, but if people were expecting Duskbloods, like the first real information on Duskbloods, or if they're expecting, I don't know, some other big third-party announcement, I don't know if Tokyo Scramble fills that void for them. I don't know. Even something like the Bomberman Collection, another game that uses game share, so you can play the bajillion different versions of Bomberman across all sorts of different Switch 2s and Switch 1s with one copy of the game. That's neat, but Bomberman Collection is 5 Super Nintendo Bombermans. Even that, it's like, or we could have gotten a new Bomberman. But that's okay that it's not. There's value in that.
Release Bomberman 64 on the...
That's what I want. A Bomberman 64, Bomberman Hero dual pack. Yeah.
Did you buy the Talking Flower already?
I am not buying the Talking Flower. What? I have my limits. I'm not buying Tomodachi, and I'm not buying Talking Flower.
I'm sure you had limits, but I would have never guessed that the flower was not within those limits.
Here's why it's a limit. Nintendo is advertising it as a device that's going to randomly blurt things out unless you mute it. Like you can't talk to it. You press a button and it talks to you, or you just sit and wait and it talks to you, or it shouts out the time to you, but sometimes it'll get the time wrong, which is the most Nintendo way to do a clock I've ever heard outside of Alarmo. Like it'll tell you the time, but is it the right time? That's the game. Yeah, I don't know. It can't. It's like it feels like
I'm
a Furby.
Late. Or am I? I don't know.
Exactly. But it just feels like a Furby that doesn't have the two-way communication. I don't know. Like I like the idea of the Wonder Flowers. I like that they're putting them in stuff like they're in Mario Party Jamboree TV, they're in Mario Tennis as announcers. They're getting kind of a second lease on life with Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition and its multiplayer mode. But I don't know if I need a physical one. My Alarmo serves the job of actually telling me the time correctly. So
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, point is, I feel like the Direct was kind of like, okay. Were there games that caught your guys' eye? I know, Angel, you said you watched it. Was there anything that jumped out to you?
Well, Orbitals, for one, because I love those kind of co-op games. Like, I could totally see all of a sudden playing that. As well as, like, Tokyo Scramble. I don't really remember the other stuff. I mean, Resident Evil, I didn't really try to see too much of it because I felt kind of behind, and I will definitely play it. But eventually,
right.
I think there was other stuff that I saw that was like, oh, that's neat. Yeah, like I did think, seeing Rebirth on the Switch was neat.
obviously we already got remake, but it is cool seeing it this soon. Like almost like they played catch up. Like they're like, oh
yeah,
okay,
they're
cool.
striking while the
Does that
iron's
mean the
hot.
next
And
one is
see,
going to come out like day and date with the other ones, or
that's what I think they're moving towards, because that was one of the nice things of this presentation. Credit where it's due. We are seeing a shift, at least with certain companies, of trying to do day and date. I mean, Resident Evil, Pragmata, Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter I think is switched to exclusive for now, but the others are coming out day and date. Like there seems to be I think Adventures of Elia is day and date across all, and that's a Square Enix game. There is movement towards more day and date games, which is great. We just need the games to be the big ones, for the sake of just like, it's the first year of the Switch. You want to have the Switch 2, you want to have the biggest guns, Like even with Bethesda. So yeah, that's Microsoft, right? They own it. How much of a like feather in the cap would the Halo collection that they already announced for PlayStation and coming to Switch 2 also be? It's not anything super new. It's just ports. But if you were to say, sure, give us Elder Scrolls Oblivion or give us Halo collection, one of those has more oomph to it in terms of the impact it makes when you look at a list of games for Switch 2 than the other, Even if Halo isn't what it once was, it has more, there's more like pizzazz. There's more like, wow, Switch 2 has everything, even Halo. I don't know if people are saying that about the very old Elder Scrolls Oblivion. So, but yeah. Any other games though? Because if not, we're at a tipping point.
The only other one that caught my attention was the Panorama site. It was like
that felt very Famicom Detective Club to me, and I love MEO.
Yeah,
so
like
that kind of caught my eye too.
Like a cousin of Ace Attorney or something. So I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that one too, I think is on Switch 1 even. Like it doesn't need the Switch 2 per se, but it does look really actually pretty cool.
I've never heard of it.
I didn't know there was a series because it's a sequel.
Oh, it is?
I never heard the first. Yeah, I never heard the first. I think it is. They seem to imply the new entry in, but maybe I misunderstood.
Huh. Well, damn. I guess I gotta play the first one or figure out what it is. Interesting.
If it even exists.
Can't wait for Rhythm Heaven Groove to be shadow dropped, because can't believe we're finally getting a Rhythm Heaven game after 11 years or 15 if you count like the last like full new game that's like not like a compilation.
I fear for the O pattern I've been saying. What's going to be the O for Rhythm Heaven?
Well, I think we already guessed it, right? Because like it's called Groove, so like it's going to have like just a handful of mini games that use the camera that you have to probably dance to in rhythm.
Oh, well, they haven't even confirmed it's coming to Switch 2 yet. So is the O that they don't even do that? All we know is it's a Switch 1 game at this point.
That's true. But it's already perfect, so it's fine.
But to your point, if they made a Switch 2 edition, that's such a shoo-in of a feature. It's just use the camera to do dancing mini games. Yeah. Like quirky Just Dance, essentially. Yeah. I can see it.
Well, I mean, you might as well finish off the three.
Well, I don't know, Kevin. We're at a tipping point.
Wait. Let me say this first, because we only have like one timestamp slot, and I don't want to have to figure out how to move it to its own section.
Okay, so in that case,
one straight hour of Jason talking.
Half an hour. We spent half an hour trying to make sense of Elvis being here. And we were talking throughout. It wasn't just me. This has been a dialogue, friends. Okay, so yeah, the last part of
more like a dialogue, but yeah,
that barely worked.
I liked
just
it.
Point blank. Okay, all right. Was it better than Nintendo though?
I think so.
It probably was.
Could have been Nintendo. Like. See.
Man, that's so much better.
Like Nintendo don't do that, yeah.
I wrote all these notes and all these ideas, and I couldn't homer it. Couldn't do the dough. Well, anyway, okay, so the last part I was going to bring up is my personal favorite topic. Financial report for the holiday quarter. Yay! And here again, it is kind of a O or dough moment a little. Because again, like has been the case with everything, on the surface, all very big, all very good numbers. Their net sales like doubled. They had a 106% gain in dedicated hardware sales, a 51% rise in profits. The Switch officially became Nintendo's best-selling hardware ever. 155 million units sold, surpassing the DS. The Switch 2 remains the fastest-selling Nintendo hardware ever, shipping over 17 million of the 19 million in total that Nintendo hopes to sell by the end of their fiscal year in March. Good news. That's all good news. A lot of big games did big numbers too. More good news. Mario Kart World, in part, of course, thanks to the bundle, 14 million copies. That's 81% of all Switch 2 owners that have this game. Pokemon Legends ZA, between Switch 2 and Switch 1, 12.3 million copies in 3 months. That, for point of reference, is not that far behind Legends Arceus, which has sold 15 million in lifetime sales, and this one's already at 12.3. And then you got fun little surprises. You got Kirby Air Riders. It's riding the momentum of its holiday release, the Sakurai name being on a hot new console. Thank you. 1.76 million sold. The GameCube original's lifetime sales was 1.35 million. So Air Riders surpassed the GameCube's entire life, the GameCube game's entire life, by 400,000 in 6 weeks. So that's all the Nintendo part. Then the O, or Do, part is some of the other stuff that kind of crept out as I was reading further into the report. Because there's a pattern in which outside Mario Kart World, that was already bundled, it doesn't, tell me if this sounds familiar with the Direct, it doesn't seem like Switch 2 has a true system-selling, defining game at this point that is resonating as such in its sales. One we can immediately take out of the conversation is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. So a little background here. Nintendo only shares the sales data for games that surpass 1 million units each. And in this era of cross-gen Switch 1, Switch 2 editions, they count each console's version as a separate SKU. Meaning if they don't sell 1 million copies on either Switch 1 or Switch 2, you're not showing up in the report. And poor Metroid Prime 4 did not show up in the report. It was later confirmed that combined, the two versions did sell over 1 million, but this is likely a game with very front-loaded sales, so even though it launched in December and only had a couple weeks of sales, I imagine at best it'll be creeping over the 1 million mark on each platform, at best. Given the word of mouth and the game not quite sticking the landing what people want it to be, I can't imagine it's going to be suddenly become this big important game that sells Switch 2, especially because it's also on Switch 1. And sadly, I don't think Donkey Kong Bonanza is quite the slam dunk that Nintendo maybe hoped it would be. Now, as a game, Bonanza is of course excellent. After all, Angel, it won your coveted Game of the Year Quarantini last episode. And sales-wise, for a Donkey Kong game, it's selling well. It's selling 4.25 million units thus far, which I think any other publisher who's not Nintendo would be thrilled by. But here's the thing. It's a flagship game from EAD Tokyo. When they released Mario Odyssey, it sold 7.5 million in its initial launch, which was also during the first holiday season of the then-new Switch 1. Actually, it did that in just 3 months. Meanwhile, Bonanza saw most of its sales front-loaded back during the summer. Of the 4.25 million that were sold up to this point, only 760,000 of those were in the holidays. The rest was last summer. Now, obviously, Donkey Kong isn't Mario, nor is it a Mario game exactly. In general, Donkey Kong games don't reach the same highs as Mario games. Insane. I mean, the best-selling Donkey Kong... Right? No, but the best-selling Donkey Kong game ever is still Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo with 13 million. More recently, Donkey Kong Country Returns, which I know you guys just dove back into, that topped 10 million when you combine all the different versions together, all the re-releases. But compare that with Odyssey this past quarter selling just passing 30 million sold. So it's different numbers. But the reason I think maybe Donkey Kong's underperforming a little for Nintendo, they're pushing him harder than ever. Like, he has a theme park. He's a main character in the Mario movie. He was given the very coveted slot of being a must-have early Switch 2 game, one that Nintendo has gone on record repeatedly saying they want to be an evergreen for the Switch 2 and a reason to buy the Switch 2 and to keep promoting it. And yet, even doing that, his first holiday was 760,000 units. His attach rate among Switch 2 owners is 24%, which is not bad for a game, but a bit surprising when it's supposed to be the game that you get with your Switch 2, So that kind of made me go, oh. as I was looking at some of the numbers. And this is where I think everything really starts to kind of dovetail. Like the ho-hum feeling of the partner showcase, the point I made about Nintendo's first-party lineup as it stands right now, missing a must-have game, the results we're seeing in the financial report. There's a lot to play. There's a lot of good stuff to play. But as it stands right now, Switch 2 software sales are around 38 million units, which means every Switch owner, when averaged, has 2 Switch 2 exclusive games so far, which isn't bad. But we know for 80% of those people, one of them is Mario Kart World, mostly because of the bundle. So what's left? What's next? What's the game that will be something the larger Switch 2 install base is going to spring for? It doesn't seem to be a Bonanza, at least not a scale Nintendo might have hoped.
Air Riders didn't gander some movement there.
Air Riders did great for Air Riders. I mean, $2 million is nothing to laugh at, or scoff at. It outsold the original, but
there you go.
That's not that many in the grand scheme of things. Pokemon Legends EA even, like I said, it sold like 12 million total. Just shy of 4 million were Switch 2 editions. The rest, of course, were on Switch 1, where it sold over 8 million more. And that's not really a Switch 2 system seller because it's on Switch 1. And if you take out all the 5 million sellers that Nintendo's reported for Switch 2, you've got the entire rest of the Switch 2 lineup collectively selling 14 million copies. That's 14 million games across 100-plus games available on Switch 2. Meaning, on the one hand, quite a diverse audience buying different things. No one game seems to be floating to the top. People are finding what they're into and enjoying it. But on the other hand, that's that much more risk of, third parties finding their particular game is not performing well enough to maybe mean Switch 2 is sustainable in the future for them, even though it has a record-breaking audience and install base. So, I don't know. I mean, it's a trend I first noticed in the initial launch sales numbers. I remember I said it back in late summer, where, again, like third parties seem to be fighting over, I don't want to call it like the sales scraps because they're not that low, but relatively speaking, like a lot of games fighting over a small number of sales, with some Nintendo games kind of taking the majority of the sales and only a few of those at that. So yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see what happens. Like Switch 2's in this weird spot where the hardware is on fire. It's breaking records left and right. But the software is like on the softer side. It's performing on the softer side. And the 2026 lineup, what we know of it so far, both first party and now, as of last week, third party, is also kind of softer. So what is carrying the momentum from here on out? Like what games become the must-haves at a scale like Switch 1's early lineup saw? What new announcements? Let's say Gen 10 of Pokemon for Pokemon Day if it gets announced in a couple weeks. Like, will that become the first true post Mario Kart like system seller for Switch 2? Or do we see more?
Smash Brothers is already selling Switch 2s before it's even out.
It's Smash Brothers. Yes. If they do a Smash Brothers, is that going to be?
No, I'm saying like it's already doing
a Switch 2 edition.
The majority of the Switch 2 owners are already because they already know.
We've probably got it.
Yeah, have it.
We've probably gotten like at least like a couple hours worth of more games on the Switch 2 because of the faster loading times.
And that's the other thing that they even put down when I was
a Switch 2 to someone for Smash.
But and that's the other thing though, is like, are people going to be buying Switch 2s because they get a better Switch 1 experience? Yeah. Is the backwards compatibility itself almost detrimental to selling more Switch 2 games? Obviously, yeah. Yeah, you make a really good point. So it's interesting. It's like the diversification of the types of games that people will be buying or playing on the Switch 2. It's like each is at a smaller total that is going to potentially, I don't know, is the Switch 2 hardware going to keep going at the same momentum because it has all these advantages of all these different games, or is it going to like peter out faster? Because one thing I think about is like right now, maybe it's mirroring a more diverse like install base who, it used to be early adopters get first. Then they kind of expand the footprint to other audiences. But we're in a situation where there's looming threats of tariffs. There's, the economy and everything. It seems like some people did rush to buy the system sooner than they would have otherwise, to get in before a price hike, to get in before chip shortages, get in before whatever. So maybe the idea of these like silver bullet must-have, everyone buys that one AAA game, is outdated in the face of the actual makeup of the Switch 2 audience. Maybe people are buying it. They just want faster load times. They just want a game here or there. They're fine. But it's definitely not how Nintendo's had to approach their systems before. So it's going to be, time will tell as we go further into the year and beyond, like how this will shake out. But it is interesting that there's not quite the groundswell around multiple early games like there was with Switch 1. And you're probably right, backwards compatibility. I didn't even think of that as probably a very big factor in that. But my hope, of course, is that the inflection of how I'm saying things will change, and it's going to not be Nintendo of the last few weeks, but it's going to turn to more of a Nintendo of the next, rest of the year as they announce cool stuff and things blow up and do really well. But yeah, it'll be interesting. But that was my one-off 45-minute Nintendo segment. Thanks for listening, everybody. Kevin, tell us about your Linux adventure finally. Unless anyone had thoughts on what I was saying before we get to that. I don't know. I didn't mean to cut anything off if anyone did have any thoughts.
No.
Yeah, I had a thought. When you said looming threat of tariffs, I thought you said looming threat of terrorists.
I mean, that's a factor.
I thought he did say that until you said this right now. I didn't know he did. I didn't know he did.
You thought that was normal. I just left it.
I mean, that is a factor. If there's a terrorist attack, you're not playing video games if you're attacked. I mean, like, if you're literally dead, you're not playing games.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure I was still on my PS2 when 9/11 happened.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, we were in the trade center. Yeah.
PS2?
But I did mean tariffs. Tariffs. It would have come out that same year.
What game?
In Japan. I think it came out that same month in Japan. Yeah, wasn't PS2 in 2001?
PlayStation 2.
I want to say it was September even. Maybe October in the US.
March 2000 and North America on October 26th. So 2000, not 2001.
Oh, interesting. Oh, right, because 2001 was the GameCube and Xbox. Yeah, that makes sense because they were a year behind PlayStation, which was a year behind Dreamcast, which was 1999, September 9th. Yeah, that checks out.
So I guess it would have been possible that I would have been on my PS2 when 9/11 happened.
You know what game was supposed to come out that week of 9/11?
Oh,
Advance
I know
Wars.
this. Nope, not Advance Wars.
Oh, sorry, I said.
Or not that the answer wasn't Advance Wars.
Not the one you were thinking
I was
of.
thinking about something else.
Yeah, no, Advance Wars was out, I think, if not the day of, the next day.
I literally just saw something where it was almost like a flight simulator and like a dogfighting game. It might have been like an Ace Combat game where one of the levels was called Skyscraper City. It was about to. It was,
oh no!
It was going to release the week after 9/11 or something like that.
I didn't think you could get more, unfortunately, whatever the opposite of serendipitous is, than Advance Wars coming out the day NATO was activated to protect America. But I guess Skyscraper City would top that.
Due to 9/11 attacks. Let's see. List of entertainment. Impact of the September 11 attacks on the entertainment industry. Okay.
These are the things about 9/11 they don't teach you in school.
It wasn't Grand Theft Auto 3.
The facts you need to know that they don't teach.
Wasn't that Metal Wolf Chaos? Oh, Savage. No, it wasn't Savage Skies.
Savage Skies is not a great name.
Propeller Arena Aviation Battle Championship was a video game for the Dreamcast console. Yeah, they had a... Tower City. There we go. The stage that killed Propeller Arena's release. Oh, this got canceled. Oh,
wow.
Oh.
I mean, it kind of does remind me, if you guys remember when they did the Advance Wars 1 and 2 remake for Switch, it was supposed to come out within like a week of when Russia invaded Ukraine. And then Russia invaded Ukraine, and Nintendo delayed it for like 18 months or something because they didn't want to be anywhere near it. So I guess Propeller Arena had a similar situation. They just never had the opportunity to come back around because the Dreamcast died.
Yeah.
Because the Dreamcast ceased to be by the time they would have been able to come back around.
Advance Wars with the unfortunate timing.
Yeah, for real.
I guess it's always a risk when you do war-based video games.
Yeah. But Propeller Arena had no way of knowing.
I mean, do any of these have any way of knowing?
Well, I mean, war is always possible, but a plane going into a building at the same time you make a game where you fight planes around buildings is pretty specific. So, but Kevin, your Linux
over building.
That's very unfortunate box art for sure.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
Everyone listening, go Google this because we don't have a way to easily show you. Oh man, that's not great.
I thought you were going to say because this is an audio recording, but all right.
Well, yeah, we don't have a way to show you. It's not audio recording. Yeah, that's two planes flying through a generic, what looks like it could be New York skyline, one shooting at the other. Yeah.
And there's one there's a building
And there's
in flames in the back. And
yes,
it
there's
looks
a
like
building with an
Explosion.
and a plane with a smoke trail going in direction of another building across on the opposite side of the art. Not great. Not great. But guys, don't worry. A microphone is included, according to the box. So,
ultimately not included
also,
because it got canceled.
This is true. This is true.
You know, if people take into development times and how fast it came out after it, like, you know, it could be reasonable. We're like, obviously, it had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, but no one's going to want to buy that.
That's true.
Like, we're desensitized, obviously, to 9/11 because we're however many years removed from it now. But in the moment when it's raw, no one wants anything to do with that.
That's true.
Definitely not for their kids. Yeah.
That's true.
But anyway, Kevin, you're doing. I'm going to keep pushing it. You're doing a Linux thing, or you have a Linux adventure, or a Linux.
I'm
Linux.
doing a Linux. Yeah, doing a Linux is what the kids
doing a
call it.
Linux, as the kids say.
Okay, so earlier in January, I think it might have been like the 4th or the 5th. I don't remember exactly what day, but I mean before that. So every year I do a fresh Windows install. So I will back up any files that I deem are important, and I just straight up like reinstall Windows. I don't delete
Like bay windows or
what?
You say bay window?
Like kitchen,
Yeah, like which are we talking? Like the
kitchen
ones that open
windows?
up, the one that
What
open
kind
left,
of Windows
right?
do you
Like,
think that I would need to back up files for, Angel?
I don't know.
well, I get the
Like a
blueprints. You need to put them
cabinet.
somewhere safe,
Yeah,
so
like
when you
files.
replace the
Yeah,
windows,
keep
you
your
know the
receipt so
measurements.
that you could get your warranty later. Like, you know, you back up those files for your
So
Windows.
every year at the
Yeah.
beginning of the year, I go ahead and do a fresh install of
New
Microsoft
year, new you.
Windows. Okay,
New year, new you. New year, new house.
that help?
New you house.
Microsoft
Yeah.
Windows. I
Us.
do a fresh install of Microsoft Windows. Just because you know, over a year the various bloat that Microsoft puts in their system might slow down a little bit, and I typically have no issues, or whatever like small little issues will like inconvenience me during the year are pretty much gone by the time that I reinstall it. This year, however, I decided to install Linux instead. So instead of a fresh Windows, I would just have a fresh operating system. And I also decided, hey, I have 2 drives on my PC, so you know I'll have one drive on Linux, one drive on Windows. Dual booting is the thing. Have no problem. There wasn't like a real reason why I just wanted to do this off the cuff this year. It kind of just like was a small little idea where I said, hey, maybe I should do this, and I just did. Not that I have a lot of issues with Windows, but there is this growing sentiment online that is very much anti-Windows 11 and anti-Microsoft. The way that they're trying to push, you know, Copilot AI on everything. The way that you know there was that there's that post on Twitter that went viral that, hey, Microsoft Paint is asking you to sign in. And so I typically don't have a lot of issues with that stuff, especially when I do an install of Windows. I pretty much turn off everything and just try to run it as vanilla as possible. I'm not a Windows power user, but like I said, I did want to try something different, similar to how I made the switch from iOS to Android last year. It has been
back to iOS.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, didn't you
then back to
regret
iOS?
doing that? I seem to recall you saying.
I'm not. I haven't gone back to iOS, but I just want to
But
try
you've
something
been
different,
saying
like
it.
the switch from iOS to Android that I made last year.
Gotcha.
Roger.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it has been about a month and some change. I've had to reinstall Linux no less than 4 times already. Pretty early on, I had to switch from one version of Linux to the version that I'm currently running. Dual booting was a pain in the ass. Setting up an option called Secure Boot came pretty close to killing me. As Jason was on his Nintendo spiel, I was in the middle of trying to install a program that will let me use my Stream Deck on Linux because there's no native Linux support. And what's pissing me off the most is on my previous 4 installs of this program, I had no problem, but for some reason this time it refuses to install, even though there no options have changed. I haven't really done anything to it. It's an experience, and just like my switch from iOS to Android, almost everything is just a little bit worse than what I would do on Windows. But unlike that time, I have absolutely no desire to make Windows my main operating system in the near future. Like, I am probably staying on Linux as my main OS for a while now. As I was talking right now, because I didn't touch anything on my monitors, my computer went to sleep. So hopefully that didn't do anything to the file. Yeah, so should be fine. Should be fine. Nothing switched. It just blacked out for a second. So before I get into the rigmarole of everything that I've gone through, I want to here at the top sort of apologize to any Linux users that are listening to this, because I'm sure I'm going to butcher a lot of information, and I'm sure that you are going to get mad at some of the things that I'm about to say, because I am a Linux noob. I probably shouldn't be heading headfirst into the Linux version that I'm running, because it's not like noob friendly. If you want to correct me in the comments, or either in the comments on RedNintendo.com, where Aqueous Kitty likes to comment.
I was about to say, yeah.
Or if you would like to share with me on Twitter or the Red Nintendo Twitter, you're more than happy to yell at me there, because I'm sure I'm going to butcher a lot of stuff here. Okay, so all three of you guys know what Linux is, I'm sure.
The one with the penguin?
Penguin.
It's the penguin,
Yeah.
yep. Linux
We
is,
both said penguin.
Linux is sort of like...
Ubuntu. I know that.
Yeah, yep. Linux is sort of like this almost catch-all term for the specific version of an open source operating system called Unix. And so from Linux, we have different Linux distributions. Distros are the different various versions of Linux that sort of run independently of each other. Linux is a very fractured sort of umbrella operating system. There's a couple of main players like Ubuntu, like Jason mentioned. There's one called Debian. There's one called Fedora. There's one called Arch Linux. Those are sort of like the four main players. And then there are some distros that are based off of those main distros. So there's a distro called Linux Mint, which is very popular, which is based on Ubuntu. And then there's another distro called Nobara, which is based off of Fedora Linux. And on top of that, you can choose what kind of desktop environment you want, which is pretty much, how you interact with your PC, the UI and the UX, basically. So that is the sort of the background on Linux. So the first Linux OS that I would ever use, I decided on a very popular distro called Bazite, which is based off of Debian. Okay, this stuff is important. Bazite is a very PC gaming focused Linux distro. As a matter of fact, it's pretty much a SteamOS clone. SteamOS being the version of Linux. Sure, yeah. SteamOS being the operating system that runs the Steam Deck, and sometime in the future will run the Steam Machine and the Steam Frame. Currently, there is a way for you to install SteamOS on a PC, but you have to go through some hoops that I did not want to go through at all. So for that reason, I chose Bazite. It's a very easy install, and I chose the same desktop environment that SteamOS uses, which is called KDE Plasma. So when I turn on my computer and I load into Linux, I'm met with the same desktop environment that the SteamOS use, which I was already familiar with just a little bit. So once installed, it was, time to start learning how to install apps on Linux, because it's very different from installing apps on Windows or like Mac OS. Instead of downloading an installer and then using that installer to install the program, you download a package, which is basically the app, which is essentially the entire program. So, for instance, if I want to install Steam, I would bring up my terminal, which is like the Linux version of PowerShell. And you guys know what PowerShell looks like on Windows, right?
Mm-mm.
Is there like two little circles, like a yellow and a blue one?
No. So if you like look at PowerShell real quick, or I'll put it in the text here. It's like the command line, kind of.
Oh, okay.
It's like
a command window.
Oh, yeah, the terminal. Yeah.
Yeah, the terminal exactly.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So, you bring up your terminal in Linux, and like with Bazite, you type sudo apt install and then the name of the program. So if I want to install Steam, it would be sudo apt install Steam. In Bazite's case, it did have an app store that did install packages like Windows apps and like the Windows Store would. But you would have to use the terminal for apps that were not in the App Store. So after a few days, I finally got Bazite to a point where it was pretty much running how I wanted it to. But out of the blue, my audio mixer stopped working the way that I use it for. So I have a Go XLR audio mixer where basically it splits my audio into 4 different channels. And I also have an XLR mic. And the only way to use an XLR mic is to have an XLR interface to connect to your PC. And so that's what I use my Go XLR for. Unfortunately, Go XLR does not have a native Linux app. But there is an open source version of it called the Go XLR utility that is almost near identical to the one that is found on Windows. And I think it might be on Mac too. I can't imagine that it wouldn't be on Mac. But instead of it being its own app, you mess with its settings through a web browser. So it's not really a big deal. Well, the Go XLR utility broke on me just after like a week of being on Linux. And so here is the first the Nintendo of this entire process.
Oh, look at you tying it in.
Yeah.
I'm so proud.
Yeah. Originally, I said, screw it. I'll uninstall the utility and reinstall it because, turning it off and off again is typically the way that you get stuff to work again. And, uninstalling and reinstalling a program, a video game will typically fix any errors you may have. Well, that did nothing. After fiddling with like settings and going on YouTube and going through like wikis, after about a day, I realized that the Bazite developers pushed out an update that broke something in the back end of the Go XLR utility, and it pissed off the devs so bad that they just said, Bazite is no longer supported. Go XLR is no longer supported by Bazite. GG's. And I need Go XLR to work. Like, otherwise, I have this $250 paperweight on my desk. So on the GitHub for Go XLR utility, it tells you a couple of the distros that it will work, and I saw that it worked with Arch Linux. So I looked at the best distros based off Arch Linux, and I was immediately told, "Hey, Arch Linux is not for newbies. Do not use this." I decided to go ahead anyways, and I downloaded an OS called Cashy OS, which is sort of a good middle ground between Bazite and Arch Linux. So I installed Cashy OS, and everything that I learned about Bazite was pretty much thrown out the window because Cashy OS and Bazite run off 2 completely different versions of Linux, and they do not interact in the exact same way at all. I was still using the same desktop environment, KDE. I don't even think I mentioned what it was called. It's called KDE Plasma, the same desktop environment that SteamOS uses. And so while everything looked the same, everything but like under the hood ran completely different. So like I said, in the case of Bazite, to install a program, I would type sudo apt install Steam to install Steam. Now I had to type sudo pacman-s followed by the package name. So in this case, Steam. Uninstalling would be on Bazite. It would be just, sudo apt uninstall Steam. Now I have to type sudo pacman-R, or I forgot what exactly. Basically, I had to unlearn everything that I did, even though these are both Linux systems, because of just the fragmented nature of Linux. On top of that, I no longer had access to that app store. I did have a list of packages that I could install. But finally, after getting used to it for a bit, I got I got CachyOS to work just how I had with Bazite, and I was able to get the GoXLR utility working the same way that it would on Windows. So win-win. Of course, a couple of days after, I found out that, hey, all of a sudden Bazite is now being supported by GoXLR utility, but that's neither here nor there. If I just waited a couple of days, I wouldn't be going through the still mountain of hell that I'm going through. So anyways, now that I had finally gotten it to where I wanted to, I had to figure out how to dual boot into Windows and how to be able to play games that I can't play on Linux, because due to some kernel level anti-cheats, and just because some developers don't want to, a lot of anti-cheats for the live service games that I play, so like Apex, Destiny, Valorant, you need this option called Secure Boot enabled for Windows. And the first step was figuring out how to enable Secure Boot for Windows on my BIOS, because if you enable it for Windows, you cannot install and you can't even use Linux on your PC. So essentially, you kind of have to trick your PC into thinking that, hey, Linux isn't really messing up with anything. So thankfully, CachyOS has a fantastic wiki that if you follow step by step on how to enable Secure Boot, it'll enable it, and then you can enable Secure Boot for Windows, which then allows you to, play these games. Of course, it did not work for me at all. I followed the directions step by step, and nothing. So I reinstalled CachyOS for the second time. This time, using a different bootloader. A bootloader is exactly what it sounds like. You turn on your PC, and instead of immediately going into Linux, it loads a screen where you choose what you want to boot into. When you install CachyOS, you get 4 different options. The original install, I installed with this bootloader called Lamine. This time, I used one that was called Grub, which Grub is used by a lot of Linux users. So then I followed the step-by-step guide on how to enable Secure Boot using Grub, and still nothing. So I said, screw it, I'll go back to Lamine and try it again. So going on my, this is my 3rd install of CachyOS. I don't know how, but I was finally able to enable Secure Boot. Cool. So now it was, okay, cool. Now I can install Windows on my second drive. And now I'll be able to play all these games and blah, blah, blah. So I finally installed it on my second drive, and now it was, how do I make it so that when I turn on my PC, the bootloader will let me choose between Linux and Windows? Because I cannot get it to work no matter how hard I try. The bootloader did recognize that there was a Windows boot file on my PC, but it wouldn't load Windows. It would crash on me. So I said, okay, one more time. I reinstalled Cachy one more time on drive 1, then Windows on the second drive. I didn't enable Secure Boot this time because I wanted to get dual booting working before I enabled Secure Boot. Okay. So after about a day of YouTube tutorials, I almost gave up. But something I noticed during all those tutorials was that everybody who was doing one was installing Linux on their PCs on their secondary drives. But I didn't think too much of it until I found one final tutorial, a more recent one that was uploaded in the last month or so. The tutorial didn't end up helping me at all, but I scrolled down to the comments, and the owner of that YouTube channel replied to someone saying, yeah, if you want to dual boot, you'll have to install Linux on a drive, or not on a drive, but you'll have to install Linux on a PC that is already running Windows. Otherwise, you're going to have a major headache to make it work. So all this time, I was installing Linux first and then Windows, where what I had to do was install Windows and then Linux.
How is that not something that is shared right away? That seems like a very important key.
You would think that any of these people doing YouTube tutorials would be like, hey, here's step 1. Have Windows installed first. And you'll want to make this. Not a single one of them said that. I had to find it in the comments.
It's interesting to me that you're on these journeys these last couple of years of going from things that are very like structured and set up to like the DIY Wild West, like iOS to Android. Android obviously is way more customizable, but then like Windows to Linux is like you're going from like very curated to very
you say
just
all these
like,
things, and then you say
good
the
luck.
example that he already gave us.
Yeah.
What?
So finally, after learning that, I erased again both of my drives on my PC. I installed Windows. I ran Windows. Then I installed Linux, ran Linux. Then I enabled Secure Boot on Linux to be able to enable Secure Boot for Windows on my motherboard, and was able to dual boot Linux and Windows through the bootloader that comes up when I start my PC. So now I turn on my PC and I'll get a screen that says, hey, do you want to boot into Linux or Windows? And they both work without any problems. What does this all mean at the end of the day? I can now play Apex Legends on my PC, but only on the Windows side of my PC because it won't run on Linux. And that is where I am today. Everything finally works. Well, with an asterisk, because I still can't figure out how to install this program to make my Stream Deck work.
And your letters on Deadlock promise to.
And yeah, Deadlock has this weird issue where any text that is on screen, it's like a 50% chance that the text is completely wrong. Here, I'll show you guys. Where'd I put it? Okay, yeah, this one. How do I copy? Just copy. And sorry, listener, you do not get to see this. Okay, so now look at where it says Yamato and the number 32, followed by those symbols.
Those look like AI generated attempts to make.
Yeah,
like
you see, and the other one, there's the euro. It's not even the euro sign in between the 36 and the 46.
It's like a half euro sign.
Yeah, that is throughout all the text in Deadlock, and I don't know if that's necessarily a Linux thing, but Elvis did come up with an idea of I should install Deadlock on Windows and see if I'm getting the same issue, because if I'm not, then it's definitely a Linux issue.
You kind of.
So to pick up the thing I was starting to say a minute ago, so you started doing like custom PC builds, then you moved into like the phone. Now obviously the software. Are you finding that these sorts of challenges are like rewarding when you get to it? Like it sounds like a lot of frustration to get here, but like it seems like you're enjoying the journey.
iOS, absolutely not. iOS, I can't wait to, or not iOS. I'm sorry, Android. Android, absolutely not. Android, everything. It does everything that iOS does slightly worse. There's an update that broke my phone, so that if I tap the screen when it's asleep, it won't start up. I had to press the lock button. I don't know why.
Oh,
I'm so done with Android. Like, this is the last that I ever used an Android product. Windows though and Linux, I'm fine with Linux. It is definitely satisfying to be like, you know what? I'm shaking my phone and there's something vibrating in there.
You're insane.
Huh.
wait, what?
I'm shaking my phone and there's something vibrating in there, Jason. I don't know how more clear I can make that.
What does that mean? I don't understand.
It means that when I shake my phone, there is something in there.
Wait, but was this in relation to
what?
what you were just saying, or were you just shaking your phone randomly?
I was just shaking
and interrupted
my phone.
yourself.
I was just shaking.
Okay,
my
I
phone
thought that was
there.
like some weird metaphor for your like enjoying Linux. I was like, I don't understand. Why is your phone like
don't
haptic
know.
vibration, or like something's rolling around?
There's something rolling around in there. It's like a loose bolt or something. I feel it when I shake my phone. I'm done with Android. Anyways, but Linux, no, I'm not. It is very satisfying to like get something to work after like 2 hours. It's almost like a Dark Souls boss, but just like way less.
Brought it back to the audience.
I don't know how to explain it. It's like a Dark Souls boss, but like way less satisfying in a term, because these are something I don't need to defeat a Dark Souls boss to go on with life, but I do need PC functionality to go on with life. Or at least to go on with my PC.
Right.
I am enjoying the challenge. I am enjoying that I'm learning something new. I've gotten to install a program is like second nature to me now. And the customizability of Linux is definitely more on the fun side than it would be for Windows. But But yeah, that's where I am with Linux, and I don't know. I might try a couple more different distros. I don't know. We'll see.
Wow.
Well, I'm impressed. I would not have the patience, so I'm impressed you guys for as you did, and that you're enjoying the ride.
It's a hell of a ride for sure.
Yeah, sounds like it. Angel.
You're gonna say Elvis.
I was.
Wow.
Oh, look at Angel, sneaky Angel. He erased his topics. I was about to throw it to him for the concert he went to, and it's gone.
We're already at the hour 44 mark. It's 11
I'm
p.m.
just
our
saying.
time.
I'm just saying. You could have talked about Birthday Massacre, and yet you chose not to.
Fine, I'll throw them into a super quick Angel recap of topics that I'll put right here under.
Time is but a
shows.
construct. The internet is not run out of space. If we make a long episode, it could be okay.
So, I mean, I won't talk specifically about John Wick 3, but just that I've watched up to John Wick 3 and really been enjoying them. Really looking forward to the fourth. Love how they slowly build up on each other. Love the further away camera and the very readable fight choreography. It's been fun. I didn't really have expectations going into them. I didn't watch them when they came out. Like, I think I watched the first one for the first time 3 years ago, and then, like, no, it was during the pandemic. Oh, man. So, yeah, like 5 or 6 years ago, and only now watched 2 and 3, like, in the last 2 months. And, yeah, looking forward to checking out Ballerina after, and the documentary that I think it's on Netflix. I forgot what it's called. Wick Must Die, I think. And, yeah, went to first concert of the year, the Birthday Massacre.
Hold on, you're not gonna watch John Wick 4?
Oh no, yeah, that's right. After I watch John Wick 4, I'll watch the documentary and then I'll watch Ballerina. I have yet to hear anyone recommend the Continental, so we'll see. May not really bother, or may just wait, or not make it a priority. Have any of you seen it?
No.
The Continental? I don't know what that is.
I think it was specifically on some streaming service that, like, nobody had.
Oh, I thought it was like a Hulu thing, but yeah, it's like a show apparently based on just a hotel.
Yeah.
No. From the universe, I guess.
It was on. It was one season on Peacock.
I was on Peacock. I could have sworn it was like on MGM Plus or something like that.
No, it looks like Peacock.
It was originally on Starz. That's why.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then went to first concert of the year, the Birthday Massacre. It's like how to describe the music? It's like punk, fantasy goth. Not really sure, but it was chill. It was pretty fun. Saw it at the Fonda, which I had been at before, and it's also where I lost my car keys the last time I was there. My sister actually went out of her way to bring a spare car keys to the Fonda. But fun show, went with some friends. Super, super crazy coincidence. So like, I had because I had seen this band before, and it was like one of my friends from the bands. I was like, I'm just gonna throw like a shot in the dark, like email to like the fan email, and because we went on their birthday weekend, just see like if they would do a shout out. Because I remember like that band and other like small venues like will sometimes do like random shout outs like that. So I just said like, oh yeah, maybe we'll do like a birthday shout out from the Birthday Massacre on the birthday weekend of my friend. And I didn't realize it at the time, but the email never went through. It just like, I think it was just, like, the domain or the email itself is just dead. I realized that after the fact, because during the show, they literally stopped and said, we have a birthday in the audience. And then they literally called out the name of my friend. Oh. And we're like looking, and no one really, and it was also kind of quiet. Like no one was really like responding, like reacting to the name they called out. And obviously when we heard the name, we're like, oh yeah, we like put it out. And I thought like, oh, it was like clearly they called it out because I asked them to. And yeah, and that was like a cool moment. But then after the fact, when I like just like sent like a courtesy like reply email, I got like I saw the mailer demon email the next day, and I had been messing with like my email settings, so this is more of just like a reduction of notifications for myself. And when I saw that it said that the email was an error, I dug up the older one, and it looks like I had accidentally deleted it, like the original error. So it just like I had never sent it. So it was just pure coincidence.
So how
they
know
shouted out? Yeah, that's
how
right.
they
So
know to?
I don't know. It must have been for a different person with the same name that happens to have the same birthday weekend, the same city, and it was crazy. But maybe like it willed into existence. But that was a kind of random.
You manifested.
Yeah. So you know what? Like I'll take it. Like I'll.
Did you make a passing reference that you say you know someone in that band?
No. I just like found their.
That's what I heard you say.
No. I found their like fan email.
Gotcha.
But then and then later I thought like, oh, their DMs on Instagram are open. I could have just gone that route, if anything. But
slid into the DMs.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think this year besides that one, the only concert I have in the books is an Iron Maiden one of not too long after my birthday, actually, which I'm really excited for. And Elvis actually told me about this not too long ago, that there's a Monster Hunter concert in 2 weeks, but like pretty much only like expensive seats are left. It like I wish I had like knew this existed a while back. I even like asked my friend who loves specifically those kinds of concerts or only goes to those kinds of concerts. And they're also really big on Monster Hunter, but they also didn't know that was happening. So I don't know. That's unfortunate. But
hopefully you can find some cheap tickets at the last second. Like if someone can't go or something. But
all good though. I mean, looking forward to Iron Maiden and whatever else may pop up. I'm kind of hoping, the usual Japanese artists like that I listen to. I hope they do a show in LA. I know one of them has a concert in the summer that I'm kind of tempted to go to. Like I'm considering it, but then if I go then, it would either be a trip to Japan then and not in the fall, in the winter. Yeah, in the winter. So we'll see. That's pretty much it. I'm just waiting for Nintendo to announce like a Donkey Kong concert already. Just make it happen.
I still think they should do a 4th anniversary. I think I pitched this on the podcast before. I know I pitched it in a tweet and a thread. 4th anniversary Mario concert at the Hollywood Bowl. Just saying.
I mean, that's a given, but yeah, they should. I mean, they should.
They won't. It's not a given. They absolutely will not.
And no proper Mario one outside of like those, like I guess like mini concerts at those conventions.
At Nintendo Live,
yeah. I mean, I probably would go to a Splatoon concert if one came to LA, just because.
Yeah, I would.
I'd be like that desperate for like. I mean, yeah, I would enjoy it. I do like a lot of Splatoon music.
I would go see hologram KK Slider if they brought him.
Yeah. Would you go to a whole 1 hour long concert of just him singing?
Oh yeah.
I mean, actually, yeah.
After 5 minutes, I'd be like, I get it, but I'd still sit there for 55 more minutes. Some of his songs are great. Some of the Animal Crossing, the 5 p.m. hour music in Animal Crossing is great, and I was reminded of its greatness when I started playing the Switch 2 edition when it came out, like in January. And yeah, it's there's great music in that game. I would go to a concert. I realize KK is not going to play the 5 p.m. hour music, but I'll still go.
So yeah, all I got.
Elvis, is there anything you would like to contribute in terms of topics of your own? Just figured I'd throw it in there now that you're here and had to listen to us for an hour and 52 minutes.
I was at one point, but then I forgot about it halfway to listening to the other ones.
Now, to be fair to our runtime, if we didn't have 30 minutes of chaos at the start, this would actually be a normal length episode. So.
The minimum length for a feature film. Yeah.
Just saying. Yep.
So
I guess we'll leave it there.
Comes out tomorrow. That's pretty exciting.
Oh yeah.
What comes out tomorrow?
Eugenics.
Oh yeah.
The Edmund Macmillan.
The next game after The Binding of Isaac.
Oh.
Yeah, he finally moved on from The Binding of Isaac, which like not that I'm complaining, but
he said he would come back to it.
Really looking forward to playing that.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe, Elvis, if you're in a future episode, I don't know what your intentions are. Maybe if you're in a future episode, you could share some impressions.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be putting
speaking of
hours
Macmillan,
on
that. Yeah.
Speaking of Macmillan, though, even though he's not involved, did Super Meat Boy 3D
It has not been announced for Switch 2, no.
Wow.
There's a lot of games that have been announced for Switch 2 that feel like shoe-ins, and I imagine it's a matter of time.
The demo for that was super fun.
And the
you
trailer,
played it?
yeah.
The demo.
The demo you said.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the trailer with the Mario fake out.
He said demo, but yeah.
I realized, and yes.
Meat Boy had a demo?
3D? Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, well, gotta edit that out.
You could argue.
Elvis.
Yeah.
Tisk tisk. All right, well, we'll leave it at Elvis cursing. That's it for this episode of Randomer Nintendo. You can make sure you don't miss future episodes where, who knows, maybe someone else will curse. Well, Kevin will certainly. He's pretty good about cursing. But to make sure you don't miss it, you can find us on Twitter at Random Nintendo or subscribe on your favorite podcast app, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Amazon Music, TuneIn. We're at YouTube at Random Nintendo. We're individually on the socials, and I have to add one more person I just realized. So you can find me, JSR7, on Threads and Twitter. You can find Kevin, KVN Gomi, on Twitter and Blue Sky. You can find Angel, World of Weros, with an S on the end, on Instagram. You can find Elvis. Where can we find Elvis? Elvis, where are you these days?
Nowhere really.
You cannot find Elvis. You can find us, but you can't find him.
What's your
and with-
Instagram? I mean, you post sculpt stuff there sometime.
That's true. You do have some cool sculpts that you do. Do you want to plug that one?
No.
Okay. You know what? I would normally say let's throw it to the final word, but I feel like that was the final word.